All right, good evening, folks. I'd like to call to order the King George County School Board regular meeting. This evening we have with us Decca from the King George High School, who's going to lead us for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated, except for our DECA members. We always love to hear from you.
Good evening, Madam Chairwoman and members of the board, Dr. Benson, staff, and members of the community. I am Dee Strauss, DECA advisor at King George High School. Thank you for having us here tonight to lead the Pledge of Allegiance. I would like to introduce you to our DECA officer team for the 2022-2023 school year. Our co-presidents for next year are Catherine Bennett and Lindsay Spillman. Our Vice President of Leadership is Alina Puentes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Amira Tate, and I will be the Vice President of Career Development for the 2022-2023 school year, and I am a rising junior. I'm really excited for competition to start back up again, and I hope to make it all the way to internationals.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Ava Krevling. I'm going to be the co-vice president of marketing. I'm a rising junior next year, and I'm super excited to meet new people through DECA.
Hi, I'm Leah Paz. I'm going to be co-vice president of marketing for 2022 and 2023. I'm a rising sophomore, and I'm very excited to meet people for next year that are going to join next year.
Hi, I'm Adriana Monero. I'm the co-vice president of hospitality, and I'm excited to meet new people and compete next year.
Hi, I'm Kimora White. I'm a rising sophomore, and I am the co-vice president of hospitality, and I am very excited for states next year.
Hello, everyone. My name is Samantha Tipton. I am a rising senior. I will be one of 2 Fox Stocks managers for the 2022-2023 school year, and I am really excited to go to Orlando this upcoming year for ICDC.
Our other officers, co-vice president of finance, Tyler Truslow and Caitlin Wingart. Our other Fox Stocks manager, Dina Rashad. And our District 19 president is Madeline Winfrey. We are continuing with Running Warriors every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., meeting in the King George High School bus loop through the summer. This is a running club for elementary and middle school students led by high school students. The goal is to encourage healthy activities and relationships through running. We would also like to report that our recent trip to Atlanta for the DECA International Career Development Conference was very exciting, full of fun, including DECA Day at Six Flags over Georgia and a night at Pemberton Place with a visit to the Georgia Aquarium and the World of Coca-Cola Museum. We networked with people from all over the world and received certificates of participation, proficiency, and recognition. Thank you for having us here this evening.
Thank you, Ms. Strauss. Congratulations to all your upcoming officers. All right, we will move on to our recognition this evening. We have Ms. Rinko and Ms. Lamb will be recognizing the Virginia PTA Honorary Life Membership Award.
Good evening, Madam Chair and fellow board members. I'm excited to be here with you today with our President-elect, Vice President-elect, Melissa Lamb. And we have a very special honor to bestow tonight. And I'll go ahead and give it to Melissa.
Hi, I'm Melissa Lamb. I'm here today in front of the board to present a wonderful gift, a gifted woman who I also call my friend and role model, a lifetime County Council PTA membership. Many of you know her due to her charitable actions among our community. Becky Kreiser has the ability to wear many hats, which include many positions among many PTA boards, sports activities, wife, mother of 6 wonderful children, with her support in our endeavors, whether that be fundraising, handling funds as treasurer, appreciating our staff members and students, or just volunteering to help dig in the dirt to lend a hand to our community. Along with the time and effort of supporting so many sports activities and involved wrestling, lacrosse, soccer, and so many more. She does all these things with a smile without complaint. Becky doesn't hesitate to do anything to help her community, so I feel so grateful to have her in our corner for all she has done for me, but I'm happy to give back to her for all she has done for us as a whole. Becky, please never change. You are a staple in our community, and we would be lost without you.
And I'll just simply add that this amazing woman has been my better half in PTA for the past 17 plus years. And she's my peanut butter to her jelly. Like seriously, she is the best thing that has ever happened to King George County Council of PTAs and the PTA building PTAs. She helps to teach other treasurers how to do what they do for the benefit of all of the county council PTA. All of our members, all of our PTAs, and all of King George County schools. She makes me better. She makes PTA better. She makes King George County schools better. And with that, I'd like to introduce and present you, girl, with your life membership from PTA, Virginia PTA. Congratulations, surprise! And your membership card and all kinds of goodies. Thank you. Congratulations to Becky Kreiser.
Woo, congratulations. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. So these, each one of them, the outstanding. Each one's a good one. Thank you. All right. Rolling right along. King George County Councils of PTAs. We are proud to have our PTA presidents with us tonight. If you are one of our building PTAs, would you please stand so we can recognize you before the board? All of our building level PTAs, we'd just like everyone to be able to see you. Let's give these wonderful a round of applause. And that also includes Melissa Lamb, outgoing PTA president from the preschool. Thank you all for everything that you do and all of that what you've done this year, this school year. They are tireless, working tirelessly this year. We are here tonight to recognize our outstanding educators. PTA's outstanding educators are those that have chosen for their teacher impact, the impact that they have made on a child or on the children. And we had over 86 nominations this year and could only choose one per building. So we're very excited to recognize them before the board for you tonight. As you hear your name, please come up. We have a certificate for you and a little flower. And we'd like for you to come on up and stand before the board when you hear your name. I think there's something here. Oh, these are the extras. Here we go. Thank you. For King George Preschool, Christina Royal Elam. Miss Royal Elam has gained my son's heart in a short amount of time. She is passionate about her work, helping the kids achieve new goals in an appropriate and fun way. Since my son started in her class, significant improvement has been noticed in multiple areas, and that's thanks to her and the team that works closely with him. The impact that she has had in our lives is huge. And so I'd like to recognize Miss Royal Elam. She's unfortunately not able to be here tonight, but let's all give a round of applause to our preschool outstanding educator. She also won Teacher of the Year. Next, I'd like to introduce you to King George Elementary's outstanding educator. And here's just an excerpt from her nomination. Brianna Ashton from King George Elementary has made a tremendous impact on music for King George County. She has made music exciting and rewarding in the children's lives through her class and choirs. Miss Ashton took a group of talented students to participate in the district choir organization. Her early music impact on kids will follow them the rest of their lives. Congratulations, Brianna Ashton. From Potomac Elementary, we would like to recognize Mr. Shane Pacelli. Just an excerpt from Mr. Pacelli's nomination form, and he had several. Shane Pacelli is an amazing teacher and a positive mentor. Shane inspires the kids in his classes by relating math to everything. He makes math fun, creating his own crazy videos and playing fun games with the kids. He's the leader of the sports club, and he tutors after school 2 days a week. He works all events like book fair, Title I events, attends chorus and band concerts just to support the kids. Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Pacelli. From Sealston Elementary, Kelly Barnes is our outstanding educator. And just an excerpt from her nomination. As an educator, Mrs. Barnes always makes a point to encourage and support the students at home and at school for educational opportunities as well as community opportunities. Never before have I seen one teacher be able to mold and shift and adapt to meet every single student's needs like Mrs. Barnes. She's simply a blessing. And one can only hope through the rest of our kids' educational journeys, we find more teachers that share her abilities. Congratulations to Kelly Barnes. From King George Middle School, outstanding educator, Michael McKeel. And from his nomination, Mr. McKeel is a paraprofessional at King George Middle School. Because of his efforts and love for his job here, he impacts students that struggle to learn, those that struggle with the most basic things. He leaves each student, and I would think their parents, with a feeling of self-worth and accomplishment. He does much more than required. Students are much more successful and have a great ally in him. Congratulations and thank you to Mr. McKeel. And last but certainly not least, from King George High, we have outstanding educator, Janelle Davis. And from Miss Davis's nomination, my daughter has consistently talked about Miss Davis's enthusiasm for teaching, positive relationships with children, and high levels of motivation and commitment. I have witnessed my daughter display those same characteristics towards her classmates, her teachers, and her work. Before her experience as a student of Miss Davis, she wasn't sure what career path she was going to take, but now she will be attending college next year to pursue a degree in education. Thank you so much to Miss Janelle Davis. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rinko, Ms. Lamb. And congratulations to all of our outstanding educators. All right, at this time we will move on to public and employee comment. Ms. Rinko, do we have any public comment in attendance with us this evening? Anyone here to make public comment that didn't get a chance to sign up due to our late arrival? No? Mr. Vance, do you have any online? No? Okay. All right, short and sweet. Okay, at this time, do we have any changes to the agenda? All right, moving on to our consent agenda. Before us this evening for consideration, we have minutes from the May 4th, 2022 special meeting, May 9th, 2022 regular meeting, and May 16th, 2022 special meeting. Do we have a motion?
Madam Chair, I need to pull May 4th for discussion.
May 4th for discussion, okay. Do we have a motion for May 9th and May 16th?
I move that we approve as presented the minutes for May 9th and May 16, 2022.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Chair votes aye, motion carries. Mr. Rolls, would you like to add any comments on the May 4th? Are they just
Yes,
returning to us for,
A simple amendment. It says I wasn't present, but I was.
okay. Would you like to make a motion to approve those as amended?
Yes, I move that we pass those as amended.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Chair votes aye, motion carries. Next on our agenda, we have for action this evening, the Sealston Elementary School playground.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board, and I apologize. Well, I don't apologize, but I'll explain why this is coming to you for your consideration as an action item. It's simply a matter of timing, trying to get this, it's a good news thing, but we want to certainly try to get it installed before next school year so the students have access to the new ADA accessible playground. You may know that we have had the request for ADA accessible playgrounds at both Potomac and Sealston on our CIP request of the county. So the county has appropriated American Rescue Plan funds that were assigned to the county to help bring about the installation of an ADA accessible playground at Sealston Elementary School. So we do ask for your consideration in allowing us to approve the purchase and installation of an ADA accessible playground at Sealston Elementary School for the amount not to exceed $95,277.60.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Benson. Do any of my colleagues have any questions for Dr. Benson? Would anyone like to make a motion?
Can I ask a question? I'm assuming there were, I guess, bids. How many other organizations made a bid on this?
Well, this goes through our county procurement office. And so we're simply, the very same company installed the one at King George Elementary School. And so we're riding then, I think it's actually a contractual agreement as part of the agenda item. I believe this is something that procurement here at the county can use to then contract with this very same company to install the features at Sealston Elementary School. It's been vetted, either competitively or otherwise, as far as contracting. So as long as it qualifies with our county financial folks who review for that very same element to make sure that we're getting the best value for the dollars that we spend, we can contract with the same company to bring the facility to Sealston.
So it's generally the county procurement section who makes this decision, and I assume with input from you and others?
Correct. We'll make a recommendation and we'll work with them to ensure that we're in compliance as far as purchasing guidelines and local ordinances and that type of thing. So we appreciate their help in that respect.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, maybe there's one more thing. I guess having dealt in the past a lot with playgrounds and so on, there's so much liability involved, and I assume all that was vetted and looked at, everything, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So all compliant.
All right. Thank you.
Do we have a motion?
I move to approve the purchase and installation of an ADA accessible playground at Sealston Elementary School for an amount not to exceed $95,277.60 from Playground Specialists, INC.
I second.
Any further discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 Chair votes aye, motion carries. Next on the agenda, we have the Mentor Teacher Program Grant for discussion.
Thank you again, Madam Chair, members of the boards. Another bit of good news, we were notified by the state, as were all school divisions, it seems, in Virginia, that they're able to supplement, or they're actually able to double the amount of funds made available to support our local mentoring program. The background, I think, is explains itself, but in essence, there are, again, American Rescue Plan funds available at the state level, and they have chosen then to distribute them to localities to supplement the teacher mentoring program, which is a huge need. And so this will help us to secure mentors, and then to also sponsor activities that mentors then can undertake with their mentees, so to speak, as we begin next year. So we appreciate your consideration in allowing us to accept an allocation of $6,580 additional dollars to support mentoring next year. And this is just discussion, so this can be brought back.
Thank you, Dr. Benson. Any questions?
I just want to understand the program a little bit better. What are the costs associated with the mentor program that it pays for?
There's actually stipends for the mentors, and then other costs could be other professional development that we may acquire for them. I know they meet periodically throughout the year, not just in a orientation, but truly in an induction process. So typically, those are the two primary costs: are the professional development activities that they sponsor, and the stipends for the mentors themselves.
Yeah, thank you.
Any further discussion? All right, so Dr. Benson, you'll bring that back for approval at our next meeting?
Sure.
Okay. Moving on to our information items, do we have any committee reports this evening? Mr. Rolls?
Yes, I do. 1 second. I had the Commonwealth Governor's School, and we went ahead and approved the budget for next year, just based on the same formula for this year, and it's adjusted for enrollment, anticipated enrollment for next year. And also got news, they had talked about it before, but it seems like it's becoming more certain that it'll happen at some point, that Fredericksburg will join the Commonwealth Governor's School. What they first want to do is send 5 students to King George to come here and try it out, and then with the potential for them to send up to maybe 200 students eventually for the whole school. So it would increase Governor School enrollment from 600 to 800, probably lead to getting an assistant director with that many kids. So that'd be a pretty big plus up. I think it's already maybe the second or third largest governor school in the state. So,
right.
And then some fun news that we got there was talking about some of the events they've had recently. They had a dance at the Fred Nat Stadium this past spring. They were concerned about rain, but the rain held out until I guess the last 30 minutes. But then the kids didn't care; they just kept dancing anyway as well. It poured, so it sounded like a
Nice.
fun memory. That's all I have.
Sounds like a Jimmy Buffett concert. Ms. Hawk?
No reports.
Dr. Cutright?
No report, thank you.
Mr. Bush?
No report.
And I do not have any committee reports this evening either. All right, Dr. Benson, back to you for your superintendent's report this evening.
Thank you very much. First, and I hate to steal anybody's thunder up here, but I want to congratulate King George High School, all of our graduates from the class of 2022. This year, they held the graduation at the Fred Nat Stadium in Fredericksburg, and it was just a fantastic evening. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great to see our community members and families of graduates out there, the staff, all aspects of it. Just was a home run, no pun intended. So my congratulations to all of those who coordinated and facilitated commencement exercises out at Fred Nat's last Friday. I also want to bring up just a bit of housekeeping with the board regarding our next year's calendar. We have come across something that needs your attention. I'll pass a copy of the approved calendar down the dais. We appreciate the work of the committee that brought this to you and your approval of it. In retrospect, if you'll look at January of 2023, you'll see that Monday the 2nd is scheduled to be a teacher workday. And by policy, that date is actually a holiday for 12-month employees. So we simply need to make an adjustment by moving to Tuesday, having Tuesday be the teacher workday, and then the students would come back on Wednesday the 4th. So we're happy to make that administrative adjustment, but because the calendar is, under the auspices of the school board, I just wanted to make you aware of that. I can certainly bring it back if you want to have discussion at a next meeting, or if you just want us to administratively then make that slight adjustment so we're in compliance with our own policy as far as holidays, we're happy to do so. It's up to you all. But appreciate any input either way.
Okay. So that's for January, so the days will just shift. So the 3rd will become the teacher work, the 2nd will remain a holiday, or will become a holiday, and the 3rd would be a teacher workday?
That's right. The students would come back the 4th. So it just bumps it one day.
Okay. Okay. Does anyone object to Dr. Benson and staff making that adjustment?
And I'm assuming that does not affect the total number of days. Obviously, we're fine with all that, right?
It affects the total number of days, but we're still well within compliance as far as the minimum number of hours of instruction. Okay, so no issue there. Thank you all.
All right. All right. Well, it sounds like you can make that change unless there are objections. So, okay.
Thank you.
And does that conclude your report, Dr. Benson?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. Okay. All right. We can tell it's the end of the year, right? Our meetings are getting shorter. Okay. So we'll move on to board comment. Mr. Rolls.
Just want to say thanks to DEC for coming out tonight and telling us about what they're doing. And also big thanks to Becky Kreiser and all her years of service. That was very good to recognize all the effort that she's put in. Parent support obviously is very important to making our division a success. So appreciate her and all the other parents that pitch in. And I can also say from personal experience, she also makes a pretty good neighbor too. So. And then also say congratulate all the winners of the Educator Awards. Again, parents and teachers working together. It's part of the magic sauce to make it all work well. So I'll call out thanks to Ms. Royal Elam, Ms. Brianna Ashton, Mr. Shane Pacelli, I hope I'm pronouncing all these correctly, Ms. Kelly Barnes, Mr. Michael McKeel, and Ms. Janelle Davis. And Dr. Benson did steal my thunder a little bit, but I will add that I know Mrs. Wines was in charge of the whole thing, so big thanks to her. She did a great job pulling together graduation. It was well done. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rolls. Ms. Hawk.
Yes, and I will try not to repeat, but except to say a thank you to all the staff for all their involvement in the graduation of 2022. It was a remarkable evening. It was a return to some degree of normalcy. And a special thank you to the music students and the staff who presented their effort in such a remarkable way. And it was hot. And they were dressed to the nines. They looked just wonderful. And I appreciated the fact that they were there, they were producing music, and they were dressed with such dignity. I want to say how blessed we are to have those students and their parents in this community. And the other thing I will add is that we do know how important parents are to the review and to the commitment about our curriculum. And so I want to let folks know that the state superintendent has restarted the math SOL review. They announced earlier this week that the Virginia Department of Education is hosting 6 public engagement sessions to allow parents, families, and community members to participate in the review and revision of the math standards of learning. This is so important because this is what our children are learning in the classroom. And if you want to be involved, this is your opportunity. They continue to say parents care about what their children learn in school and have a right to be engaged at the beginning of the standards review process, as opposed to being presented with draft standards aligned with the predetermined outcome. We will have an open process for updating Virginia's math standards and ensure that all of our students are able to pursue the highest level of academic rigor they are capable of achieving. There will be 5 public sessions and 1 online session, and the closest one to us is probably the Northern Virginia Community College on May 23rd, which was today. Whoops. The online virtual session is on June 13th, and you can find more information about it at the Virginia Department of Education. That's all, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Hawk. Dr. Cutright.
Madam Chair, I'd like to say thank you to DECA for the Pledge of Allegiance, also for the Virginia PTA Honorary Life Membership Award and the PTA Outstanding Education Awards. I attended the King George High School Senior Scholarships Award on May the 10th, and I also would like to congratulate the class of 2022 and would like to extend a thank you and appreciation to the many organizations who sponsored scholarships for our King George High School seniors. I also, like Dr. Benson and Ms. Hawk, attended graduation for the class of 2022 that took place at the Fred Nat Stadium on May the 19th. It was truly an honor for the Board of Education members to be part of the graduation processional. And I might add, with the COVID-19 lockdowns, it was great to be back in person. This year's graduation was a huge success due to the efforts of community members, parents, teachers, school administrators, and the class of 2022. I'd also like to mention that School Nurse Appreciation Day was May the 11th, and we greatly appreciate their dedication and service to our staff and students. And I'd like to say, apart from injuries and sudden ailments, school nurses may also support students with chronic illnesses and disabilities, and our schools could not function without school nurses. In conclusion, since the school budget may be passed this week, most of the research indicates that funding is a central component of providing quality education and leads to student achievement. And that's what Ms. Hawk is talking about, with parents being involved with mathematics and reading. I might add that it came out this week that student achievement in mathematics and reading is far behind in the state of Virginia for the last year. It was even behind before COVID. And we must continue to have high expectations for students, schools, and ourselves as a board. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Cutright. Mr. Bush.
I also want to thank Ms. Strauss for the DECA Pledge of Allegiance and also for announcing the new officers for next year. That was very good. She sure is a tireless teacher for our division. Also appreciate the Virginia PTA Life Membership, and Ms. Rinko, you did a great job organizing and doing all that. Thank you so much. And again, I won't go through all the names again, but representatives from each one of the schools for the Outstanding Educator Awards, that was wonderful. And then also the Becky Chrysler for the Life Membership Award. Congratulations to her. I also attended the graduation, and thank you to as was already mentioned, to the teachers, the parents, and the students, of course, all the organizations involved, and the custodians, everybody was involved in putting that together. Special thanks goes to our administrators. Dr. Boyd did a great job along with the rest of your administrators. Appreciate it so much. And Dr. Benson, thank you. And especially, I appreciate so much, having been through a lot of graduations, that they did a great job pronouncing everybody's names. Everything went flawlessly, which is quite a feat, to be honest, as we all know. But thank you for that. I did want to mention that last week, several of us, or a few of us, were at the Board of Supervisors board meeting, and there were a lot of parents that were there and concerned community members that spoke about the school's budget being approved. And I just want to say thank you to all those that were in attendance at that meeting. I think it was very well received. And the response from the community and the concern for the division's budget was clearly shown by many different community members. And I wanted to thank them for that. That's all. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bush. So I would like to also congratulate all of our outstanding educators this evening. And I would like to again thank Ms. Strauss for her commitment to the King George High School DECA program. I know my son and I are looking forward to attending rejoining the Running Warriors this Saturday. We've missed it this spring because my kids had soccer. But DECA organizes that and leads that. It's great to see the high school kids out helping the little kids, encouraging them to run around the track. And then I often go to the farmers market and see all the high schoolers there convening and chatting. And it's a neat community experience. So this time I'm hopeful that maybe my daughter, who tends to be afraid of people, might decide to join us and run and not just sit with grandma on the sidelines. So anyway, looking forward to that. I'd also like to thank my fellow board members who came to the public hearing last week on the 2022 proposed tax rate and encouraged our Board of Supervisors to fully fund our schools. I look forward to attending their work session tomorrow. I'm optimistic. And to again, show up in support of the schools and encourage them to fully fund the budget. I have a couple of administrative administrative topics as a part of my comment here. So for my colleagues, for general awareness, so we will be conducting our superintendent's evaluation coming up here in the next couple weeks. So just for awareness, so Dr. Benson is going to provide us with a written assessment of his accomplishments for the last year. Within the next week or so, he and I discussed that. And so then I will ask that you each come prepared to the next meeting with your individual evaluations, and we will compile them during closed session. So I don't know, Ms. Rinko, if we got hard copies to pass out this evening, we'll get them. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But we'll also have electronic copies. Some people prefer one or the other, but we'll get those out. So we can compile them at our June 13th meeting, and then hopefully have that wrapped up at the following meeting on the 27th. So that's kind of where we are with that. I thoroughly enjoyed our training session last week at VSBA. So thank you to all of my fellow board members for taking time out of what I know are all of our busy schedules to make the trip to Charlottesville. I thought it was beneficial. Hopefully you all felt it was as well. I plan to include the norms and protocols that we developed last week as a part of our action items in our next meeting so that we can adopt those as we updated last week. And then I know there was interest in reducing the number of meetings over the summer break. So unless there were objections, I thought we could cancel our 11 July meeting.
Sounds good.
What'd you say?
In principle, it sounds good, but can we vote or just decide next time? Since this is the first time hearing of it, I'd like to look at my schedule.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Okay. All right. If you really want to show up. Okay, fine. Consider it. We'll discuss it next week. That's fine. And then I had a suggestion that we think about scheduling 2 more board training sessions. One, I thought we talked about the board self-evaluation. Thought that might be beneficial for us to do. I know this board hasn't done that, at least not in my tenure on the board. I thought maybe that was something we could commit to doing this fall, so we could do it by the end of the year, and then perhaps one, say next January, February, to further investigate the superintendent evaluation process. So I'll throw that out for consideration. And just to then again reiterate what others have said, I thoroughly enjoyed graduation. It's kind of a great positive experience at the end of a long school year. And it's certainly not as long for us as it is for all of you in the schools doing awesome things, but it's a great experience. And it was really cool this year at the Fredericksburg, at the Nat Stadium. My only suggestion for next year is that Ms. Hawk remember her personal belongings before we make the trip the whole way across the parking lot. So maybe next year we'll do better.
I promise.
Okay. So that is all I have. All right, so without further ado, do we have a motion to go into closed session? Okay, I'll do it. I move that pursuant to State Code Section 2.2-3711.a.1 for the purpose of discussion, consideration of prospective candidates for employment, assignment, and resignations of the employees of the school board, that we go into closed session.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. We're now in closed session. We have a motion to return to open session.
I move that the King George County School Board return to open session and certify that pursuant to State Code 2.2-3712.d, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under this chapter, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered in the meeting by the public body.
Second, certify.
Certify.
I certify as well. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. We're now in open session. Do we have a motion to approve personnel as presented?
I move that we approve the personnel as presented.
I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Move that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourning, yes. Do you vote aye or nay?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, Chair votes aye. We are now adjourned until 7:15.